Today we embark on a journey through time itself, tracing the incredible saga of our origins. From the faintest whispers of life in ancient landscapes to the emergence of beings who would one day look back and wonder, who are we, really? Join me as we unravel the timeline of human evolution, a story woven over millions of years, filled with mysteries, triumphs, and the relentless pulse of survival. If you find this journey as fascinating as I do, please like and share, so more can explore the roots of our shared humanity. Long before the dawn of civilization, before cities rose and empires fell, the story of humans began quietly in the heart of Africa, where the cradle of life gently rocked the earliest forms of life on Earth. This was a time when our planet was a vastly different place. Volcanic mountains pierced the skies, dense forests cloaked the land, and strange creatures roamed the earth. It was in this vast wilderness, about 6 to 7 million years ago, that the first ancestors of humans began to diverge from the primate family tree. These early hominins were not yet human in the way we understand today, but they carried within them the seeds of what was to come. Our lineage began with subtle changes, shifts in anatomy and behavior that would, over countless generations, shape the very essence of what it means to be human. The earliest known hominins, such as Sahelanthropus chidensis, revealed a fascinating blend of traits. With a skull structure that combined ape-like features with a hint of upright posture, these ancestors hint at a pivotal moment, a departure from the life spent in trees to a life increasingly grounded on two legs. Bipedalism, walking upright, was a revolutionary adaptation. It freed hands to manipulate tools, it allowed better visibility across the savanna, and it marked the beginning of a new way of experiencing the world. As millions of years passed, the story unfolded with the appearance of Australopithecines, a genus that walked the earth from about 4 to 2 million years ago. These creatures were more adept walkers, their skeletons adapted for life on the ground, yet still retaining some tree-climbing abilities. Among them, the famous Lucy, an Australopithecus afarensis discovered in Ethiopia, provided a remarkable glimpse into this chapter of human evolution. She stood about 3.5 feet tall, yet her upright gait and pelvic structure were unmistakably human-like. Her discovery was a testament to the gradual, painstaking steps through which evolution sculpted our ancestors. Within these ancient landscapes, changes in climate sculpted the environment. Forests slowly gave way to open grasslands, challenging these early hominins to adapt or perish. This shifting world became the stage for dramatic evolutionary experiments. It was here that our ancestors began to fashion simple tools, striking stones against one another to create sharp edges. These early implements were the precursors to technology, a sign of growing intelligence and ingenuity. Tool use provided new opportunities, access to meat, the ability to process plants, and a method to defend against predators. Between 2.5 and 1.5 million years ago, a new genus emerged, Homo. The first true humans, Homo habilis, showed a significant leap in brain size and complexity. Their brains, though small compared to ours today, were larger than those of their predecessors. This growth in brain volume coincided with increasingly sophisticated tools, classified as the Oldowan technology. Homo habilis became the earliest toolmakers, crafting sharp flakes and cores for cutting and scraping. Their survival was linked intimately to their capacity for innovation and cooperation. Soon after came Homo erectus, a species that would endure for nearly 2 million years, spreading beyond Africa to Asia and Europe. Homo erectus embodied a remarkable step forward, with a larger brain, longer legs suited for endurance walking and running, and the ability to control fire. Fire was a game changer, transforming diets by allowing cooked food, providing warmth and offering protection. The control of fire signals a turning point, not just biologically but culturally. It meant gathering in groups, sharing stories, and possibly the earliest flickers of language. Homo erectus left footprints in the fossil record from China's Zhoukoudian caves to the volcanic soils of East Africa. This species bridged the gap between ancient ancestors and modern humans, a testament to resilience and adaptability. Around this time, the evolutionary experiment expanded to include multiple human-like species coexisting, some on paths that led to extinction, others forging the lineage that culminated in us. The timeline of human evolution is not a straightforward ladder but a complex branching tree with diverse forms. The next major players in this story emerged roughly 400,000 to 300,000 years ago as Homo heidelbergensis evolved. These ancestors exhibited larger brains and advanced hunting techniques. They were capable of crafting wooden spears and possibly engaging in cooperative hunts. Their fossils have been found across Africa and Europe, hinting at a wide-ranging species that laid the groundwork for later human evolution. From Homo heidelbergensis, two significant lineages emerged. One led to the Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis, who inhabited Europe and Western Asia. The Neanderthals were robust, adapted to cold climates, and culturally complex. They made sophisticated tools, wore clothing, and buried their dead. Their story intertwines with ours, for evidence shows that they interbred with early modern humans, sharing genes that live on in many of us today. Meanwhile, in Africa, the lineage that would become Homo sapiens was taking shape. Early Homo sapiens evolved with a skull shape characterized by a high forehead, rounded cranium, and smaller jaws. Their brains reached the size and complexity of those of modern humans. The archaeological record reveals signs of symbolic thought, art, jewelry, and ritual practices, signaling the dawn of culture and abstract thinking. Around 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens began migrating out of Africa in waves, encountering diverse environments and sometimes other human species. This migration shaped the genetic and cultural diversity seen across the world today. Our ancestors adapted to icy tundras, lush forests, and arid deserts, crafting tools that suited each habitat and developing languages and traditions that bound communities together. The timeline of human evolution is a vast, intricate tapestry, woven from the threads of survival, adaptation, and innovation. It is the story of beings who learned to harness fire, shape stone, and imagine worlds beyond the tangible. It is a story of resilience against the odds and the emergence of consciousness, the spark that set humans apart from all other creatures. As we reflect on this incredible journey, we recognize that the story of human evolution is still unfolding. Every fossil discovery, every genetic analysis, adds a new chapter to our understanding of who we are and where we come from. It is a story that connects us deeply to the earth, to our ancestors, and to each other. This tale is not just about bones and tools, but about the essence of life itself, change, growth, and the endless quest to understand our place in the universe. The saga of human evolution moves forward, with the emergence of anatomically modern Homo sapiens, a species whose complex behaviors and cognitive abilities set the stage for the rich tapestry of human culture and civilization. Around 300,000 years ago, fossils of early Homo sapiens appear in Africa, revealing a physical form remarkably close to ours. This period marks a profound transformation in the evolutionary narrative, a blossoming of creativity, communication, and community. In this era, the landscapes of Africa were vast and varied, from lush river valleys to expansive savannas. Early, Homo sapiens adapted with remarkable flexibility, their survival dependent not only on biological traits, but increasingly on cultural innovations. The tools they fashioned became more diverse and specialized, ranging from finely worked blades to bone and antler implements, allowing for more efficient hunting and gathering. These tools reflect a leap in cognitive ability, the capacity to plan, to imagine, to solve problems with precision. Art and symbolic expression begin to emerge in this epoch, providing a window into the minds of our ancestors. The earliest known examples of abstract art date back to this time, including engraved ochre fragments and personal ornaments, such as beads made from shells. These artifacts hint at a profound internal world, one where identity, spirituality, and social bonds were beginning to take shape. Such symbolic behavior suggests the presence of language, complex social structures, and the capacity for abstract thought that is central to humanity. Meanwhile, as Homo sapiens expanded beyond Africa roughly 70,000 years ago, they embarked on a great migration that would shape the distribution of humanity across the globe. This migration was not a simple journey, but a series of waves, sometimes rapid, sometimes slowed by harsh environments and challenges. Crossing into the Middle East, they encountered landscapes transformed by ice ages, deserts, and mountain ranges. These early travelers carried with them not just their bodies, but their knowledge, stories, and cultures. In these new territories, Homo sapiens encountered other human species, notably the Neanderthals in Europe and Denisovans in Asia. The interactions between these groups were complex, marked by competition, coexistence, and interbreeding. Genetic studies have revealed that modern non-African populations carry traces of Neanderthal and Denisovan DNA, evidence of this ancient mingling. These interspecies connections enriched the genetic diversity of our ancestors, providing new adaptations that may have aided survival in different climates. The Neanderthals themselves represent a fascinating chapter in human evolution. Adapted to cold glacial environments, they possessed robust physiques and were skilled hunters. Their culture included sophisticated stone tools known as the Mousterian, tradition, use of pigments, and perhaps even symbolic burial practices. For a long time, Neanderthals were viewed as brutish and unsophisticated, but modern research has revealed their cognitive complexity and cultural depth, challenging earlier assumptions. As the ice ages waxed and waned, climate shifts sculpted the world, opening and closing migration routes. Homo sapiens followed herds of animals and exploited new environments, developing technologies that ranged from spear throwers and bows to fishing implements. Their diets expanded to include fish and shellfish, reflecting adaptability and innovation. Coastal routes allowed movement into new lands, eventually reaching Australia around 65,000 years ago, an astonishing feat of navigation and survival. The cultural evolution of Homo sapiens accelerated in the Upper Paleolithic period, beginning approximately 50,000 years ago. This era is marked by an explosion of artistic and technological innovation. Cave paintings adorned the walls of deep caverns in Europe and Indonesia, depicting animals, human figures, and abstract symbols with striking detail and vivid colors. Carved figurines, musical instruments, and intricate jewelry testify to a flourishing creative spirit and a complex social life. This flourishing of culture was intertwined with the development of language, a powerful tool for sharing knowledge, forging alliances, and transmitting traditions. Language allowed early humans to coordinate hunts, share stories, and nurture social bonds. It formed the backbone of societies, enabling the formation of larger groups and more intricate social networks. Through language, humans began to construct shared realities, myths, and histories. Simultaneously, the population of Homo sapiens expanded across continents, from the frigid tundras of Siberia to the tropical rainforests of the Americas. The colonization of the Americas occurred relatively late, around 15,000 years ago, through migrations across the Bering Land Bridge that connected Asia and North America. This migration was a remarkable achievement, involving adaptation to new climates, flora, and fauna. These settlers developed diverse cultures, from the great mound-building civilizations to nomadic hunting societies. The arrival of Homo sapiens in these distant lands led to significant ecological changes. As humans became proficient hunters and gatherers, they influenced the populations of many animal species. Some species vanished from the fossil record around the time of human expansion, suggesting that human activity played a role in these extinctions. This relationship between humans and the environment underscores the profound impact our species has had on the planet. Throughout this vast timeline, the story of human evolution reveals the power of adaptation and innovation. From the simple, stone tools of early ancestors to the complex societies of recent millennia, humans have continually transformed themselves and their surroundings. Each technological advance and cultural development built upon the legacy of countless generations, testament to resilience and creativity. The rise of agriculture about 12,000 years ago marked another monumental shift. The domestication of plants and animals led to settled communities, surplus food, and population growth. This transition from foraging to farming laid the foundation for civilizations, cities, and empires. It also transformed human diets, social structures, and even the landscape itself. As humans settled, they developed new forms of social organization, governance, and belief systems. The construction of monumental architecture, the creation of writing systems, and the establishment of trade networks transformed societies. These developments reflect the cognitive and cultural complexity that human evolution had been building for millions of years. Looking back through this timeline, it becomes clear that the evolution of humans is not just a biological story, but a deeply cultural one. Our journey has been shaped by the intertwined forces of environment, adaptation, and imagination. It is a story that continues to unfold as modern science uncovers new fossils and decodes the secrets hidden in our DNA. In tracing this journey, we gain insight into the profound interconnectedness of all life and the remarkable path that led from ancient ancestors to the people we are today. This story is a powerful reminder that beneath the surface of our daily lives lies a heritage shaped by time, struggle, and discovery, a heritage that continues to inspire wonder and curiosity. The journey of human evolution is also a story of remarkable biological transformations, where subtle changes in anatomy shape new possibilities for survival and interaction with the environment. One of the most significant evolutionary milestones was the development of the human brain, an organ that grew larger and more complex over millions of years. This growth did not simply increase volume, but brought new structures and capabilities that allowed for advanced reasoning, problem-solving, and emotional depth. Early hominins had brains roughly the size of modern chimpanzees, but over time, brain size increased dramatically, reaching an average volume of about 1,300 to 1,400 cubic centimeters in Homo sapiens. This expansion, however, came with energetic costs. The brain requires substantial energy to function. Evolution favored a balance between brain size, energy demands, and reproductive strategies, resulting in the unique human condition. Alongside brain growth, changes in skull shape reflected evolving cognitive abilities. The forehead became higher and more vertical, allowing for an expanded frontal cortex, the seat of complex thought, planning, and language. The development of the parietal lobe enhanced spatial awareness and tool use, while the temporal lobes improved memory and emotional processing. Together, these changes crafted the neural architecture that underpins human creativity, empathy, and abstract thinking. The evolution of the brain was accompanied by changes in social behavior. Humans are inherently social creatures, and cooperation has been essential for survival. Living in groups provided protection from predators, increased hunting success, and enabled the sharing of knowledge. Complex social networks demanded advanced communication, fostering the rise of language, culture, and shared norms. The human brain evolved not only to think, but to connect, empathize, and collaborate. Physical changes in the human body also reflect adaptation to new lifestyles and environments. The transition to bipedalism transformed the skeleton. Pelvis, shape, spinal curvature, and leg bones adjusted to support upright walking. The freeing of the hands allowed for the manipulation of objects, tool-making, and eventually, the creation of art and technology. Hands became exquisitely dexterous, capable of delicate movements that enabled crafting and intricate gestures. The human face evolved as well, with a reduction in jaw size and teeth reflecting changes in diet and speech. Smaller jaws made room for a larger brain case and altered vocal anatomy, facilitating the nuanced sounds necessary for language. The larynx descended, expanding the range of vocalizations and allowing complex speech, a hallmark of human communication. Environmental pressures shaped these changes as humans encountered diverse climates and ecosystems. Adaptations to cold climates, such as shorter limbs and stockier bodies, helped conserve heat, while in warmer regions, slender builds facilitated heat dissipation. Skin pigmentation evolved in response to ultraviolet radiation, balancing protection with vitamin D synthesis. These biological adjustments demonstrate the intimate dialogue between humans and their surroundings. Another critical aspect of human evolution is the development of culture, a non-genetic inheritance system that transmits knowledge, beliefs, and behaviors across generations. Culture allows rapid adaptation to changing conditions and fosters innovation beyond biological constraints. It includes language, art, technology, social norms, and rituals, all elements that define human identity. The earliest evidence of culture appears in symbolic artifacts, from engraved stones to personal ornaments. These objects reveal an inner life, a capacity for meaning-making that goes beyond survival. Culture binds communities, creating shared identities and collective memories. It also shapes cognition, influencing how humans perceive and interpret the world. Language, as a core component of culture, is deeply intertwined with brain evolution. While the exact origins of language remain debated, its emergence revolutionized human society. Language enables the transmission of complex ideas, coordination of group activities, and expression of abstract concepts such as time, morality, and spirituality. It forms the backbone of human cooperation and creativity. Throughout history, culture has been a dynamic force, adapting and evolving alongside biology. Technological advances, from stone tools to agriculture, metallurgy, and digital innovations, illustrate the accelerating pace of cultural evolution. Each generation builds upon the discoveries of the past, expanding the horizons of human possibility. Human evolution also reveals the interconnectedness of species through gene flow and shared ancestry. Modern genetic research uncovers traces of interbreeding with other hominin species, illustrating that evolution is not a linear progression, but a complex web of interactions. The genomes of contemporary humans carry echoes of Neanderthals and Denisovans, evidence of ancient encounters and shared heritage. These genetic legacies influence traits ranging from immune responses to adaptations to high altitudes, revealing the subtle yet enduring impact of our evolutionary history. The mosaic nature of human genetics underscores the diversity and complexity that characterize our species. Understanding human evolution is not only a scientific endeavor, but also a profound reflection on identity and place in the natural world. It invites us to see ourselves as part of an unfolding story that spans deep time, connecting us to the earth and to all life. This perspective fosters humility, curiosity, and a sense of responsibility toward the planet and future generations. In tracing the path of human evolution, we come to appreciate the extraordinary journey that shaped our minds, bodies, and cultures. It is a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the power of imagination, a journey that continues to inspire and challenge us. The story of human evolution is deeply intertwined with the environments that shaped it, highlighting a dynamic dance between organism and habitat. Throughout millions of years, shifting climates, changing landscapes, and fluctuating ecosystems exerted powerful selective pressures on our ancestors, guiding adaptations that would define the human lineage. These environmental factors not only shaped physical traits, but also catalyzed behavioral and technological innovation essential for survival. Early hominins emerged during a period of significant ecological transformation in Africa. Approximately 7 million years ago, the dense tropical forests that dominated much of the continent began to recede, giving way to expanding savannas and woodlands. This mosaic of habitats required versatility. Bipedalism, which first appeared around this time, offered a selective advantage by allowing hominins to move efficiently across open landscapes, scan for predators, and carry food or tools. Upright walking also freed the hands, facilitating manipulation and tool use, key components of evolving intelligence. But the environment's influence extended beyond locomotion. The cooling and drying trends associated with glacial cycles created cycles of abundance and scarcity. These oscillations demanded flexibility in diet, social organization, and mobility. Early humans adapted by broadening their dietary range, incorporating not just plant foods, but increasingly sophisticated hunting and scavenging techniques to secure animal protein and marrow, which supported brain growth. Environmental unpredictability also fostered innovation. The ability to create and use tools allowed early humans to exploit new niches. Stone tools evolved in complexity from simple flakes to finely crafted blades and points, enabling more effective processing of food and materials. Fire, one of humanity's most transformative discoveries, provided warmth, protection, and the means to cook food, enhancing nutrition and social bonding. Moreover, the challenges posed by harsh environments stimulated cognitive and social evolution. Living in groups became advantageous for hunting large game, sharing knowledge, and caring for the young and elderly. Complex social networks required communication skills, trust, and cooperation, which in turn nurtured empathy and culture. These social bonds were as critical to survival as physical adaptations. As humans expanded out of Africa, they encountered diverse and often extreme environments, from the icy tundras of Eurasia to the dense forests of Southeast Asia and the deserts of Australia. Each new landscape demanded tailored adaptations. For instance, the Neanderthals developed robust bodies suited to cold climates, with short limbs and large noses that helped warm and humidify cold air. Modern humans, migrating into these areas, adapted culturally and biologically, sometimes borrowing traits through interbreeding. The story of migration is one of endurance and ingenuity. Crossing land bridges and narrow sea channels, early humans colonized the farthest reaches of the globe. Along these routes, they encountered new flora and fauna, which influenced dietary choices and tool development. In some regions, such as Australia and the Americas, human arrival coincided with megafaunal extinctions, possibly linked to hunting pressure and environmental change. Climatic shifts also played a role in cultural evolution. During glacial maxima, harsh conditions may have forced populations into refuges, where innovations in shelter, clothing, and social organization became vital. The Upper Paleolithic Revolution, marked by remarkable cultural and technological advances, coincided with the last major ice age. This period saw the creation of sophisticated tools, artistic expression, and symbolic behavior, all hallmarks of a species mastering its environment. Environmental pressures have continued to shape humans into modern times. The advent of agriculture around 12,000 years ago transformed landscapes and human societies. Cultivation altered ecosystems, reduced biodiversity in some areas, and created new niches for disease and domesticated species. Sedentary living facilitated population growth and social stratification, yet also introduced challenges such as sanitation and nutritional deficiencies. Even today, human biology and culture respond to environmental contexts. Populations living at high altitudes exhibit genetic adaptations for oxygen efficiency. Groups in malaria-endemic regions carry traits that provide resistance to the disease. Cultural practices such as dietary habits, housing, and clothing reflect ongoing adaptations to climate and geography. This interplay between humans and environment illustrates the core principle of evolution: change in response to conditions, whether biological or cultural. Human evolution is not a static story, but a continuous process, a dialogue between species and surroundings that drives transformation. Reflecting on this relationship deepens our understanding of humanity's place within the natural world. It reminds us that survival and flourishing have always depended on adaptability and respect for the environments we inhabit. As modern, challenges like climate change and habitat loss threaten the planet. This ancient connection calls for renewed awareness and stewardship. In sum, the evolutionary timeline is a testament to the resilience and creativity that arise from the pressures and possibilities of the environment. It is a story of transformation shaped by ice and fire, forest and plain, storm and sunshine, a story that continues to unfold with each generation. The rise of tool use marks a defining chapter in the story of human evolution, a testament to ingenuity that fundamentally altered the course of our ancestors' lives. Tools are not merely objects but extensions of the mind, enabling new interactions with the world and transforming the boundaries of survival and creativity. The earliest known stone tools date back approximately 3.3 million years, predating the genus Homo, revealing that our distant relatives already began shaping their environment in meaningful ways. These rudimentary implements, often sharp flakes struck from larger stones, served practical purposes, cutting meat, scraping hides, or breaking bones to access marrow. Such actions increased dietary diversity and nutritional intake, fostering brain growth and social cooperation. Over time, tool-making techniques became more sophisticated, giving rise to distinct technological traditions like the Oldowan and later the Acheulean industries. The Acheulean hand axes, with their symmetrical shapes and standardized production methods, demonstrate increasing cognitive abilities. Crafting these tools required foresight, planning, and manual dexterity, hallmarks of advanced intelligence. Hand axes served multiple functions, as cutting tools, weapons, or even social symbols signaling skill and status within groups. Beyond stone, early humans experimented with organic materials such as wood, bone, and antler. Though less likely to survive archaeologically, these materials were crucial for making spears, digging sticks, and other implements that expanded hunting and gathering strategies. The ability to craft composite tools, combining parts of different materials, further enhanced efficiency and versatility. Tool use is deeply linked to the development of culture and communication. The transmission of knowledge about tool-making required teaching and learning, embedding technological skills within social structures. This cultural inheritance accelerated innovation and adaptation, forming a foundation for cumulative progress, a process unique to humans among primates. As technology advanced, humans began to manipulate fire, another transformative milestone. Controlled fire provided warmth, protection from predators, and a means to cook food, which improved digestibility and reduced disease risk. The social saga, rituals around fire, fostered group cohesion, communication, and the sharing of stories, laying the groundwork for complex societies. In later periods, tools became increasingly specialized and symbolic. The Upper Paleolithic era witnessed the creation of intricate blades, bone needles, and fishing equipment, reflecting diverse subsistence strategies and ecological adaptations. Artistic expressions, including carvings, jewelry, and cave paintings, emerged alongside tools, revealing an expanding cognitive and cultural landscape. The mastery of tools culminated in agriculture and metallurgy during the Neolithic and Bronze Ages. Farming revolutionized human life by enabling food surpluses, population growth, and settlement building. Metallurgy introduced new materials and technologies, further transforming societies and economies. The legacy of tool use is visible in the modern world's technological landscape, yet it is rooted in these ancient innovations. Tools have shaped not only physical survival, but the very evolution of human thought, society, and identity. Understanding this trajectory highlights the profound connection between cognition and technology. It reveals that human evolution is as much about the mind's capacity to shape the environment as about biological changes. Tools reflect creativity, adaptation, and the drive to transcend immediate limitations. In contemplating this chapter of our history, we recognize the spark that ignited human progress, a spark born in the hands of ancestors millions of years ago, still glowing in every innovation we create today. Language stands as one of the most profound milestones in human evolution, a transformative force that reshaped the course of our species. Unlike other forms of animal communication, human language is symbolic, generative, and infinitely flexible. It allows us to express abstract ideas, share experiences across generations, and build complex social networks that underpin culture and civilization. The origins of language remain shrouded in mystery, largely because speech leaves no direct, fossil evidence. Yet, interdisciplinary research, from comparative anatomy and genetics to archaeology and linguistics, provides clues. The evolution of the vocal tract, brain regions such as Broca's and Wernicke's areas, and the discovery of the FOXP2 gene implicated in speech suggest gradual biological foundations for language capacity. Early hominins likely used a combination of vocalizations, gestures, and facial expressions to communicate basic needs and emotions. Over time, this system grew more complex, incorporating syntax, grammar, and semantics. The development of language transformed social interaction by enabling coordination in hunting, sharing knowledge about resources, and establishing social norms. Language also fosters symbolic thought, the ability to represent objects, events, and concepts mentally, even when they are not present. This capacity is evident in the creation of art, ritual, and myth, revealing a cognitive leap that distinguishes humans from other primates. Symbols became tools for cooperation, teaching, and cultural transmission. The impact of language extends beyond communication. It shapes thought itself. The way we speak influences how we perceive and categorize the world. Language enables planning, problem-solving, and reflection on past and future, enriching consciousness. It is the medium through which values, history, and identity are constructed and preserved. Moreover, language underlies the development of institutions, law, and technology. It allows abstract ideas like justice, democracy, and science to emerge and evolve. The shared narratives created through language bind communities and provide frameworks for understanding human experience. The co-evolution of language and brain structure illustrates a feedback loop. As language complexity increased, cognitive capacities expanded, which in turn supported more sophisticated communication. This interplay fueled cultural accumulation and technological innovation, accelerating human progress. In modern humans, the capacity for language is innate, yet its expression is shaped by culture and environment. Thousands of languages flourish worldwide, each reflecting unique histories, environments, and worldviews. This linguistic diversity enriches humanity's collective knowledge and creativity. Understanding language evolution deepens appreciation for what it means to be human, a species capable of transcending immediate circumstances through shared symbols and stories. It highlights the intricate relationship between biology and culture, between mind and society. In reflecting on language, we recognize a fundamental human gift: the power to connect across time and space, to imagine and create realities beyond the tangible. Language is not just a tool, it is the very fabric of human existence. The evolution of the human brain is a central pillar in the grand narrative of our species. Over millions of years, the brain expanded not just in size, but in complexity, unlocking capacities that define what it means to be human: reason, creativity, empathy, and self-awareness. This remarkable organ, weighing about 3 pounds in modern adults, is the product of intricate evolutionary pressures and innovations. Our early ancestors, such as Australopithecus, possessed brains only slightly larger than those of modern chimpanzees. Yet, over the course of hominin evolution, particularly within the genus Homo, brain volume increased dramatically, reaching nearly 3 times the size of a chimpanzee's brain. This expansion occurred alongside changes in brain organization and connectivity, which enhanced cognitive functions. Several hypotheses attempt to explain the drivers of brain enlargement. One key factor was diet. Access to high-quality foods rich in calories and nutrients, such as meat and cooked items, supported the energy demands of a larger brain. Another was social complexity. Navigating intricate social networks and alliances required advanced problem-solving, memory, and communication skills, which in turn favored cognitive growth. The brain structure evolved to support specialized functions. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive functions like decision-making, planning, and impulse control, became more developed. The temporal lobes, involved in language and memory, expanded, as did the parietal lobes, supporting spatial reasoning and tool use. Neural plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize, also increased, allowing learning and cultural transmission to flourish. This neurological evolution gave rise to behaviors that were once unimaginable. Humans began creating art, burying their dead with rituals, and developing symbolic systems. Such activities indicate not only intelligence but a rich inner life and awareness of mortality, identity, and the world beyond immediate survival. Brain evolution is also reflected in developmental patterns. Humans have prolonged childhoods, compared to other primates, providing extended periods for learning and socialization. This extended dependency supports the acquisition of language, skills, and cultural norms, critical for thriving in complex societies. However, the large brain comes with trade-offs. It demands significant energy and a challenging childbirth process due to the size of the neonatal head. These constraints influenced human life history, promoting social structures that support mothers and infants, and encouraging cooperative breeding and care. The story of brain evolution is ongoing. Modern neuroscience reveals astonishing complexity and plasticity, uncovering how genetics, environment, and experience shape neural development. Brain disorders and variability highlight the delicate balance involved in maintaining this intricate organ. Ultimately, the evolution of the human brain is a story of possibilities unlocked, a journey from survival to reflection, from instinct to culture, from reaction to creativity. It underpins every aspect of human life, from the mundane to the sublime, shaping how we understand ourselves and our place in the universe. The origins and development of early human culture reveal the profound ways in which our ancestors began to transcend the purely biological and enter the realm of symbolic meaning and social complexity. Culture, defined as the transmission of learned behaviors, beliefs, and knowledge, became a cornerstone of human evolution, enabling adaptation beyond genetic inheritance and allowing communities to thrive in diverse and changing environments. From the earliest times, signs of cultural behavior are evident in the archaeological record. The production and use of tools, once considered a hallmark of culture, demonstrate early technical skills and shared knowledge. Yet culture quickly expanded beyond mere tool-making. The control of fire, the creation of shelters, and the management of resources show strategic planning and cooperation. The emergence of symbolic behavior marks a critical cultural leap. This is seen in the decoration of objects, burial practices, and artistic expression. Such behaviors suggest an awareness of self, others, and the world, as well as concepts of identity, spirituality, and social cohesion. Artifacts like ochre with engravings, beads, and carved figurines reflect the use of symbols to communicate ideas and values. Cultural transmission relies heavily on social learning, imitation, and teaching, processes that enable the accumulation of knowledge across generations. This cumulative culture distinguishes humans from other animals, fostering technological advancements and social institutions that become increasingly complex over time. Language, as previously discussed, amplifies cultural transmission, allowing abstract ideas, myths, and histories to be shared widely and preserved. Oral traditions, storytelling, and ritual all contribute to weaving a shared reality and reinforcing social bonds. Social structures within early human groups grew in complexity. Roles, norms, and hierarchies emerged, balancing cooperation and competition. These social dynamics required emotional intelligence, empathy, and conflict resolution, skills essential for group survival and prosperity. The spread of culture facilitated human expansion across varied landscapes. Adaptations to local environments often involved cultural innovation, developing specific hunting techniques, clothing, and shelter suited to climate and available resources. This cultural flexibility allowed humans to colonize environments far beyond those accessible to other primates. The archaeological evidence of sites such as Blombo's Cave in South Africa, with its engraved ochres and shell beads, highlights the dawn of modern human culture approximately 100,000 years ago. Similarly, the cave art of Europe, including the famous paintings at Lascaux and Chauvet, reveals a sophisticated symbolic world dating back at least 30,000 years. Culture also played a crucial role in human survival during environmental challenges such as Ice Age glaciations. Shared knowledge about seasonal resources, migration patterns, and shelter construction proved invaluable. The continuous interplay between culture and biology drives human evolution. Cultural practices can influence genetic selection, as seen in the development of lactose tolerance in populations with dairy farming traditions, or resistance to diseases linked to living conditions. In contemporary times, culture defines humanity more than ever. Technology, art, science, and social organization are all products of cultural evolution, reflecting an intricate tapestry woven through millennia. Understanding early culture offers profound insights into the human condition. It reveals how we became not just survivors, but creators of meaning, builders of societies, and explorers of the inner and outer worlds. This cultural journey underscores the uniqueness of human life, the capacity to imagine, to share, and to transform our existence through symbols and stories. The journey of human migration is a saga of exploration, endurance, and adaptation that unfolded over hundreds of thousands of years, shaping the genetic and cultural diversity we witness today. As early humans evolved in Africa, the cradle of humankind, they began to venture beyond familiar territories, driven by curiosity, environmental changes, and survival imperatives. This epic migration not only spread our species across the globe, but also sparked new interactions, innovations, and evolutionary pressures. The initial exodus of Homo erectus out of Africa around 1.8 million years ago marks the first major chapter in this story. These early travelers reached parts of Asia and Europe, adapting to diverse climates and ecosystems. Fossil evidence from sites like Dmanisi in Georgia reveals hominins equipped with tools and cognitive abilities sufficient for survival in new environments. Much later, modern Homo sapiens emerged approximately 300,000 years ago in Africa, carrying with them advances in technology, culture, and social complexity. Between 70,000 and 50,000 years ago, a series of migrations saw anatomically modern humans spreading into the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and eventually the Americas and Oceania. This movement was neither linear nor uniform, but occurred in waves, with periods of expansion and retreat. Migration was facilitated by several factors. Climate fluctuations, including ice ages and interglacial periods, opened and closed corridors, shaping routes. Rising and falling sea levels exposed land bridges, such as the one connecting Siberia to Alaska, allowing humans to enter the Americas. Ecological pressures, such as resource scarcity or population growth, also prompted exploration. As humans moved into new regions, they encountered and sometimes interbred with other hominin species like Neanderthals and Denisovans. Genetic studies reveal traces of these ancient relatives in the genomes of modern populations outside Africa, indicating complex interactions that enriched human diversity. The adaptations required for migration were profound. New diets, toolkits, and social strategies developed to meet challenges posed by unfamiliar climates, predators, and landscapes. Cultural exchange and innovation accelerated as groups encountered each other and shared knowledge. The dispersal of humans also led to linguistic and cultural diversification. Isolated populations developed unique languages, traditions, and technologies, contributing to the rich tapestry of human culture. These variations reflect both adaptation to environments and the creative capacities of the human mind. Migration had profound evolutionary implications. It exposed populations to different selective pressures, influencing physical traits such as skin pigmentation, body size, and immune responses. It also fostered gene flow and diversity, which are crucial for resilience and adaptation. In contemplating human migration, one sees a story of both unity and diversity, a species linked by common origins but enriched by varied journeys. It reveals the drive for exploration that is fundamental to human nature, a willingness to venture beyond the known in search of new possibilities. This epic movement across continents is more than a historical fact. It is a metaphor for human resilience, curiosity, and the quest for survival. It connects us to the landscapes we inhabit and to each other, reminding us that we are part of a shared journey spanning millennia. The development of human technology represents a remarkable trajectory of innovation, reflecting the ingenuity and adaptability of our species. From rudimentary stone tools to complex machines, technology has profoundly shaped human life, enabling us to manipulate our environment, enhance survival, and build civilizations. The story of technological evolution is intertwined with cognitive development, culture, and social organization. The earliest known tools date back more than 3 million years, crafted by our hominin ancestors in Africa. These simple flakes and cores, known as Oldowan tools, were primarily used for cutting and processing food. Their manufacture required understanding, material properties, and coordination, signaling significant cognitive capabilities. As time progressed, toolkits became more sophisticated. The Acheulean industry, characterized by hand axes, appeared around 1.7 million years ago. These bifacial tools, shaped symmetrically, indicate advanced planning and skill. They were likely multi-purpose implements used for butchery, digging, and woodworking. The control of fire, which likely occurred at least 1 million years ago, was a transformative technological and cultural milestone. Fire provided warmth, protection, and a means to cook food, increasing caloric intake and safety. It also fostered social gathering and communication, contributing to community cohesion. During the Middle Paleolithic, new tool technologies emerged, such as the levallois technique, which involved preparing stone cores to produce standardized flakes. This innovation reflected abstract thinking and refined motor skills. The Upper Paleolithic period, starting around 50,000 years ago, witnessed a burst of technological creativity. The production of blades, bone tools, fishing equipment, and complex hunting weapons such as spears and bows expanded human capabilities. This era also saw the emergence of art and symbolic objects, underscoring the connection between technology and culture. Agriculture, beginning around 12,000 years ago, revolutionized human society. The domestication of plants and animals led to food surpluses, population growth, and settled communities. New tools for farming, storage, and construction appeared, setting the stage for the rise of cities and civilizations. The Bronze Age introduced metalworking, enabling stronger and more durable tools and weapons. This advancement facilitated trade, warfare, and social stratification. The Iron Age further expanded technological horizons with more efficient metal tools. Throughout history, technology has acted as a catalyst for societal transformation. The invention of the wheel, writing systems, printing press, and, in modern times, electricity and digital technology have continually reshaped human experience and potential. The relationship between technology and human evolution is reciprocal. While cognitive and social developments enabled technological innovation, new technologies, in turn, influenced human biology and behavior. For example, the use of tools may have affected hand morphology and brain function. In contemporary times, technology accelerates at an unprecedented pace, offering solutions to global challenges, but also posing ethical dilemmas. Understanding. Its evolutionary roots provides perspective on how innovation is deeply embedded in our species' journey. Reflecting on technology reveals the human capacity for creativity, problem-solving, and transformation. It is a testament to our ability to shape the world and ourselves, forging pathways into the future, grounded in millions of years of evolutionary heritage. The intricate evolution of human language stands as one of the most profound achievements of our species, intricately woven into the fabric of culture, thought, and social organization. Language is more than a tool for communication. It is the vessel of knowledge, identity, and shared reality. Its origins and development remain a subject of rich inquiry, bridging anthropology, linguistics, neuroscience, and genetics. Language likely evolved gradually, emerging from earlier primate communication systems that employed gestures, vocalizations, and facial expressions. Early hominins probably used a combination of these modalities to convey information about their environment, social relations, and emotions. The transition to complex spoken language required numerous anatomical and cognitive adaptations. Changes in the vocal tract, such as the lowering of the larynx and the flexibility of the tongue and lips, expanded the range of possible sounds. Brain regions associated with language processing, including Broca's and Wernicke's areas, developed. Greater specialization and connectivity. The archaeological record offers indirect evidence for early language use. The sophistication of tool-making, social cooperation, and symbolic art imply that complex communication was essential. The presence of anatomical features conducive to speech in Homo heidelbergensis and Neanderthals suggests that language predates modern Homo sapiens. Language enabled humans to share abstract concepts, plan collaboratively, and transmit cultural knowledge across generations. It fostered social cohesion by creating shared narratives, myths, and laws. The capacity for storytelling and symbolic thought elevated human consciousness and community life. Linguistic diversity today reflects the long and branching history. Human populations. Thousands of languages have developed, each encoding unique worldviews and cultural practices. Language shapes cognition, influencing how people perceive and categorize their experiences. Language also catalyzed technological and cultural innovation by enabling detailed instruction and idea exchange. It allowed complex social hierarchies and institutions to form, coordinating large groups for common goals. The co-evolution of language and cognition is evident in the human brain's plasticity and ability to acquire language effortlessly in early childhood. This critical period reflects an innate biological preparedness for linguistic input, shaped by evolutionary pressures. In modern times, language continues to evolve rapidly, influenced by globalization, technology, and cultural exchange. New languages and dialects emerge, while some traditional tongues face extinction, reminding us of the dynamic nature of human communication. Understanding language evolution illuminates the extraordinary capacities that distinguish humans. It reveals how our voices, sounds, and symbols bind us together and create the tapestry of human culture and thought. This journey from primal calls to complex discourse exemplifies the power of language as a cornerstone of human identity and progress. The human brain, an organ of staggering complexity and remarkable adaptability, has been central to the story of our evolution. Its growth and refinement over millions of years laid the foundation for cognition, emotion, creativity, and consciousness, the very essence of what it means to be human. The evolution of the brain is not merely a tale of increased size but of intricate reorganization and specialization, enabling unprecedented mental capacities. Early hominins possessed brains larger than those of other primates, with increases in size particularly evident in the genus Homo. Homo habilis, often considered the first toolmaker, exhibited a modest brain expansion around 2 million years ago. Later species, such as Homo erectus, displayed further enlargement and complexity, correlating with more sophisticated behaviors. Modern Homo sapiens boast brains averaging about 300 to 1,400 cubic centimeters, roughly 3 times the size of chimpanzees. This enlargement, however, is only part of the story. The cerebral cortex, especially areas associated with reasoning, planning, language, and social cognition, underwent significant development. Neural connectivity and plasticity enhanced the brain's processing power and flexibility. The brain's evolution was shaped by multiple selective pressures, including ecological challenges, social complexity, and technological innovation. The social brain hypothesis suggests that managing intricate social relationships required advanced cognitive abilities, driving brain growth. Cooperation, competition, empathy, and communication all demanded mental agility. Energy demands of a large brain posed evolutionary trade-offs. The human body adapted through changes in metabolism, diet, and life history strategies, such as prolonged childhood, to support brain development. Cooking food, which increases caloric availability, likely played a key role. The evolution of the brain also enabled the emergence of culture, language, and abstract thought. It allowed humans to imagine futures, reflect on the past, and create symbolic representations. Consciousness, the subjective experience of awareness, remains a profound mystery, but is rooted in neural processes that evolved over time. Brain plasticity, the capacity to adapt and reorganize in response to experience, facilitates learning and memory, underpinning cultural transmission. This adaptability distinguishes humans from many other species and supports lifelong learning. Modern neuroscience continues to unravel the brain's complexities, revealing networks involved in emotion, decision-making, and self-awareness. These insights enrich our understanding of human nature and its evolutionary roots. Despite vast knowledge, many questions remain about how brain structures translate to consciousness and identity. The brain's evolution embodies the profound interplay between biology, environment, and culture, a dance that shaped humanity's unique place in the natural world. The human brain, both an organ and a mystery, stands as a testament to the power of evolution to craft instruments of thought, creativity, and connection, tools that continue to propel our species forward. The emergence of culture is one of the defining characteristics that set humans apart from all other species. Culture encompasses the shared knowledge, beliefs, customs, behaviors, and artifacts that are transmitted socially rather than genetically, shapes how humans interpret their world, interact with each other, and build societies. The evolution of culture represents an extraordinary leap, a shift from mere survival to meaning-making and creativity. Early hominins exhibited the roots of culture through tool use and social cooperation. Yet it was Homo sapiens who, through complex symbolic thought, developed culture in ways never before seen. Around 100,000 years ago, archaeological evidence reveals signs of ritual, art, and symbolic expression. Cave paintings, ornaments, and burial practices, indicating a sophisticated cultural life. Culture functions as a powerful system of information. Transmission. Language, stories, and rituals convey knowledge, norms, and values across generations. This cumulative culture allows each generation to build upon the achievements of the previous, creating an accelerating trajectory of innovation and social complexity. Cultural evolution is not governed by genetics alone, but by learning, imitation, and teaching. Humans possess unique cognitive abilities for understanding others' intentions and perspectives, known as theory of mind, that enable intricate social learning. The diversity of human cultures worldwide illustrates how environments, histories, and social structures influence cultural expression. From hunter-gatherer societies to complex urban civilizations, culture adapts and evolves in response to challenges and opportunities. Culture profoundly influences biology as well. For example, dietary practices shape digestive adaptations, social norms affect mating patterns and group dynamics. This interplay, known as gene-culture coevolution, underscores the inseparability of biology and culture in human evolution. The creation of tools, art, music, religion, and moral codes are all facets of culture's expansive reach. They provide identity, cohesion, and meaning, enabling humans to transcend immediate needs and envision futures. The modern world's technological and cultural explosion is an extension of this ancient process. Globalization, digital communication, and scientific discovery accelerate cultural change at an unprecedented scale. Understanding culture's origins and mechanisms deepens appreciation for human diversity and unity. It reveals how shared meaning and creativity bind individuals into communities and propel the species forward. Culture is the soul of humanity, a living tapestry woven from countless threads of experience, imagination, and connection, continuously renewed through time. The intricate dance of human genetics unveils the blueprint of our species, tracing pathways of inheritance, adaptation, and diversity that have unfolded over hundreds of thousands of years. Genetics provides a molecular lens through which we can peer into our evolutionary past, illuminating relationships between populations, revealing ancient interbreeding events, and explaining the biological basis of traits. The sequencing of the human genome marked a transformative milestone, allowing scientists to compare DNA from modern humans, ancient hominins, and other primates. These comparisons have confirmed Africa as the cradle of modern Homo sapiens and uncovered the genetic signatures left by encounters with Neanderthals and Denisovans. The discovery that non-African populations carry 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA illustrates that human evolution was not a linear, isolated process, but a network of interactions. Similarly, Denisovan genetic material is found in populations in Asia and Oceania, indicating multiple interbreeding events. Genetic diversity within African populations surpasses that of any other region, reflecting the deep roots and long history of humans on the continent. This diversity is a reservoir of information about population size, migrations, and adaptations to various environments. Genes also tell stories of adaptation. Variations affecting skin pigmentation, lactose tolerance, altitude tolerance, and immune responses reflect evolutionary responses to environmental pressures. For example, the ability to digest lactose into adulthood evolved independently in several pastoralist populations. Modern genetic techniques enable the reconstruction of ancestral lineages, revealing demographic events such as population bottlenecks and expansions. These insights inform understanding of how humans adapted to climatic shifts and changing landscapes. The interplay between genetics and culture shapes human evolution. Cultural practices influence mating patterns and gene flow, while genetic predispositions can affect behaviors and susceptibilities. Ethical considerations arise with genetic knowledge, prompting reflection on identity, diversity, and the implications of genetic manipulation. This awareness invites responsible stewardship of genetic science. In exploring human genetics, we glimpse the complexity of our shared heritage and the subtle variations that make each individual unique. It reminds us that beneath superficial differences lies a common thread of ancestry connecting all humans. Genetics is the language written in our cells, a dynamic record of survival, adaptation, and interconnectedness that continues to evolve with each generation. The rise of agriculture marks a pivotal chapter in human evolution, transforming societies from small bands of hunter-gatherers into complex civilizations. This transition, often called the Neolithic Revolution, began roughly 12,000 years ago and reshaped human relationships with the environment, technology, and each other in profound ways. Before agriculture, humans lived as nomadic foragers, relying on the seasonal availability of wild plants and animals. The domestication of plants like wheat, barley, rice, and maize, and animals such as sheep, goats, and cattle provided stable food sources, enabling larger, sedentary populations. This newfound food security spurred population growth and the development of permanent settlements. Villages expanded into towns and eventually cities, fostering social stratification, specialization of labor, and complex governance structures. Agriculture demanded new tools and techniques, including plows, irrigation systems, and storage facilities. These innovations facilitated higher yields and surplus production, which in turn supported artisans, merchants, and administrators. The shift also brought ecological changes. Deforestation, soil depletion, and water management altered landscapes. Humans began to exert unprecedented control over ecosystems, shaping the environment to their needs. Socially, agriculture introduced new dynamics. Property ownership, inheritance, and social hierarchies emerged, as did conflicts over resources. Religious and cultural practices evolved to reflect and legitimize these changes. The Neolithic Revolution had biological impacts as well. Sedentary life in denser populations increased exposure to infectious diseases. Changes in diet influenced human health, sometimes reducing nutritional diversity and increasing dental issues. Despite challenges, agriculture set the stage for the development of writing, science, art, and technology. It laid the groundwork for civilizations that built monumental architecture, legal codes, and expansive trade networks. The transition from foraging to farming represents a complex interplay between human ingenuity and environmental opportunity. It is a testament to adaptability and the capacity for long-term planning and cooperation. Understanding this transformation reveals how cultural innovations can drive evolutionary change and reshape the trajectory of a species. Agriculture's legacy endures today, continuing to influence how humans live, interact, and sustain themselves on the planet. The unfolding story of human migration is one of the most remarkable journeys ever undertaken, a saga of exploration, survival, and adaptation that spread Homo sapiens across the globe. From their origins in Africa, early humans traversed continents, encountering diverse environments and challenges, shaping the genetic and cultural mosaic of humanity. Around 70,000 to 60,000 years ago, a subset of Homo sapiens embarked on an epic exodus from Africa, moving into the vast landscapes of Asia, Europe, and beyond. This migration was propelled by factors such as climate change, resource availability, and population pressures. The routes taken were varied and complex. Some groups moved along coastal corridors, exploiting marine resources, while others ventured inland through mountainous and forested regions. These journeys demanded remarkable ingenuity and resilience. Archaeological sites from the Middle East to Australia document the presence of modern humans, their tools and cultural artifacts, revealing patterns of settlement and adaptation. Genetic studies complement this picture, tracing lineage splits and interbreeding events with archaic humans like Neanderthals. As humans encountered new climates and ecosystems, they developed specialized technologies and survival strategies. Clothing, shelter, hunting techniques, and social structures adapted to the challenges of deserts, tundras, jungles, and savannas. Migration facilitated cultural exchange and innovation. The movement of ideas, technologies, and customs enriched human societies, fostering diversity and complexity. Yet, migration was not a linear process. Populations often moved back and forth, mixing and diverging over millennia. This dynamic history explains the rich genetic and cultural variation observed today. Human migration also shaped the distribution of languages, religions, and genetic traits. For instance, variations in skin pigmentation and metabolism evolved in response to local environmental pressures. The story of migration is a testament to human curiosity and adaptability. It illustrates how exploration and movement are integral to our nature and survival. In a broader sense, migration connects us all, reminding us that beneath cultural differences lies a shared history of movement, encounter, and change. The global spread of humanity stands as a powerful narrative of exploration, resilience, and the continuous weaving of the human story across the planet. The tapestry of human society has been intricately woven through the evolution of social structures and cooperation. From small bands of hunter-gatherers to sprawling civilizations, the ability to organize, communicate, and collaborate has been crucial to human success and survival. This social evolution reflects the growing complexity of human relationships, roles, and institutions over millennia. In early human groups, cooperation was essential for hunting, gathering, defense, and child-rearing. Shared responsibilities and mutual aid strengthened bonds and increased chances of survival. Kinship and familial ties formed the foundation of these social units, supported by intuitive social cognition and empathy. As populations grew, social organization expanded. Hierarchies emerged to coordinate collective action, allocate resources, and maintain order. Leadership roles became specialized, and social norms and rules developed to guide behavior and resolve conflicts. The development of symbolic communication and language enabled humans to transmit complex social information, including cultural norms, traditions, and legal codes. Rituals and belief systems reinforced social cohesion and collective identity. Social evolution also led to the differentiation of roles based on age, gender, skill, and status, creating diverse social strata. The emergence of agriculture intensified these changes, as surplus production supported specialized professions, and urbanization. Institutions such as governance, religion, and economic systems arose to regulate social life and manage resources. These structures allowed large groups to cooperate beyond immediate kin networks, enabling the creation of cities, states, and empires. Social cooperation extended beyond humans to include domesticated animals and, in modern times, complex technological systems. The capacity to form large-scale organized societies is a hallmark of human evolution. However, social complexity also introduced challenges, including inequality, conflict, and environmental impact. Navigating these tensions has shaped human history and continues to do so. Understanding the evolution of human social structures sheds light on our inherent need for connection and organization. It reveals the delicate balance between individual and collective interests that has driven progress. The story of social evolution is one of continuous adaptation, negotiation, and innovation, an enduring testament to the power of cooperation in shaping human destiny. Language stands as one of humanity's most profound achievements, a system of symbols and sounds that transcends time and space, enabling intricate communication and the transmission of culture. The evolution of language is central to human development, unlocking cognitive, social, and technological advancements that have shaped our species' destiny. Though the precise origins of language remain elusive, evidence suggests that early hominins possessed rudimentary vocalizations and gestures. Over hundreds of thousands of years, these evolved into complex, spoken languages capable of expressing abstract ideas, emotions, and shared experiences. The human vocal apparatus, brain regions such as Broca's and Wernicke's areas, and cognitive faculties adapted to support sophisticated language use. Language fosters cooperation, storytelling, teaching, and the creation of social bonds. Through language, knowledge, and culture accumulate across generations, a process known as cumulative cultural evolution. This enables the development of art, religion, science, and philosophy, as well as the organization of societies on unprecedented scales. Languages diversify and change over time, reflecting migrations, contacts, and social shifts. Thousands of distinct languages have arisen, each embodying unique worldviews and histories. Language also shapes thought and perception. The words and structures we use influence how we categorize and understand the world around us, a concept explored by linguistic relativity theories. Beyond spoken language, humans have developed written systems, sign languages, and digital communication, expanding the reach and permanence of information. The power of language extends to empathy and identity, allowing individuals to connect deeply and assert cultural belonging. It can also divide or unite, depending on social context. Research into the neuroscience and genetics of language continues to uncover its complexities, revealing innate predispositions alongside learned elements. Language is more than a tool. It is the medium through which humans create meaning, share dreams, and shape realities. The evolution of language encapsulates the remarkable journey from simple sounds to the rich, multifaceted expressions that define human civilization. The dawn of technology represents a defining chapter in human evolution, marking the shift from mere survival to mastery over nature. Tools, once simple extensions of the hand, evolved into complex systems that transformed how humans interact with their environment and each other, fueling progress across millennia. Early stone tools crafted by hominins some 2.6 million years ago embody the first steps in this technological journey. These implements enabled more efficient processing of food, defense, and construction, directly impacting survival and reproduction. As cognitive capacities expanded, so too did the sophistication of technology. The development of controlled fire opened new possibilities for cooking, warmth, protection, and social gathering. The crafting of bone, wood, and later metal tools reflected innovative problem-solving and material knowledge. Technological advances spurred changes in lifestyle, from nomadic hunting to settled agriculture. Pottery, weaving, and metallurgy emerged, enabling food storage, clothing production, and the building of infrastructure. The rise of complex societies accelerated technological progress. The wheel, writing systems, and irrigation transformed transportation, communication, and agriculture. These inventions facilitated trade, administration, and cultural exchange on unprecedented scales. Industrialization introduced mechanization, energy harnessing, and mass production, reshaping economies and societies globally. Modern technology, computers, medicine, space exploration, continues to redefine human potential and challenges. Technology not only reflects human ingenuity, but also shapes cognition, social organization, and culture. It alters perceptions of time, space, and connection, influencing values and ethics. The interplay between technology and environment is dynamic. Innovations can mitigate challenges or create new problems, such as resource depletion and pollution, demanding responsible stewardship. Understanding the evolutionary trajectory of technology reveals how it serves as a powerful agent of change, amplifying human capacities and reshaping the world. This story underscores the creative spirit at the core of humanity, the relentless quest to solve problems, expand horizons, and transcend limitations. Technology's evolution is a testament to the adaptability and vision that continue to propel the human story forward. As we reflect on the vast timeline of human evolution, we see a narrative of profound transformation, resilience, and boundless curiosity. From the first stirrings of bipedal ancestors to the rise of modern Homo sapiens, every chapter reveals the extraordinary adaptability and creativity that define our species. Evolution is not merely a biological process, but a dynamic interplay of genetics, environment, culture, and technology. Each element has sculpted humanity's physical form, cognitive abilities, and social complexities, weaving an intricate tapestry of life and experience. Our journey has been marked by triumphs and challenges, surviving ice ages, mastering fire, developing language, and building civilizations. It is a story of exploration, innovation, and the enduring quest for meaning. This timeline is also a testament to interconnectedness. Despite surface differences, all humans share common ancestry and a shared destiny on this planet. Understanding our origins fosters empathy, respect, and a sense of stewardship for the world and each other. As science continues to uncover new insights, we gain a deeper appreciation for the delicate balance of forces that have shaped us. From ancient fossils to cutting-edge genetics, each discovery enriches the mosaic of human history. Our evolution is ongoing. Cultural shifts, technological advances, and environmental changes continue to influence who we are and who we may become. In embracing this story, we honor the past, recognize the present, and inspire the future. A future shaped by the lessons of our ancestors and the dreams of generations yet to come. Human evolution is more than a timeline. It is the essence of our identity, a journey of becoming that invites wonder, responsibility, and hope.